Christian that follows Vocab says the Messiah is a dark skinned man from the Middle East. Now we know that he's from the Middle East. Now in Christianity, they push this image of a white Christ, which is nothing but a portrait of Caesar Borgia from the late 1400s. Anyway, I'm going to let you listen, and then I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to show you the color of the Arabs. So listen up.
I can't see what it says.
I don't know. I can't see it either. I was not focusing on that though the day of.
Okay, I got you. Here we go.
And it's all because of this image right here. You understand? Hold on. Now, is this Christ?
You're here to teach me. I have a question.
Yeah, well, I'm asking you a question right now. Is this Christ?
No, that's not Christ.
What color is Christ?
Christ was a Middle Eastern man.
What color was Christ? I see a letter from the white man, real good.
He was a dark-skinned man.
What color was Christ? Was Christ a Negro?
Christ looked like
Was Christ a Negro?
Christ was a dark-skinned man.
I'm asking you a simple question.
You heard her. She said Christ is a Middle Eastern man. Christ is a dark skinned man. Who lived in the Middle East 2,000 years ago? Who lives in the Middle East today? But let's go back 2,000, more than 2,000 years ago, 2,000 plus years ago. That whole region were people of color. Now, if you truly understand the scriptures, you would know that there were so-called white people there. Those were the Edomites, which was located south of Jerusalem, Palestine, the land of Israel, so you can understand, south of Moab and Ammon. If you keep going south, you'll wind up right in the wilderness of Sin, which you have you have the Gulf of Suez. As you're coming south, the Gulf of Suez is on your right side, and the Gulf of Akbar is on your left side, which are extensions of the Red Sea. Matter of fact, when the Israelites went through the Red Sea, they actually went through the Gulf of Suez right into the wilderness of Zin. They didn't go through the actual Red Sea, but they'll say Red Sea because the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Akbar are connections of the Red Sea. So you can call it the Red Sea. It's part of the same waters as the Red Sea, but there were two gulfs. So you heard what she said, right? So now she said that he said, what color was Christ? By the way, the brother lost a lot of weight. He looks good. Brother looked real good. I didn't recognize him. That's good, brother. See, you say I always say negative things about ISUPK. I'm saying something positive now. I ain't even recognize him, man. Brother lost a lot of weight. And he said, what color? Well, at first, she said he's a Middle Eastern man. Then he said, what color is the Messiah, the Christ? And she said, you heard it. He was a dark-skinned man from the Middle East. Now, in her mind, yeah, the dark Arabs, we all know that Arabs, original Arabs, are dark-skinned people, some almost black. And he said the word black and Vocab, the devil played on it. Oh, wait a minute, Christ is black, but they're brown. When they say black, they're talking about a dark brown man. They play with the word black and brown. You know what we're talking about, a dark brown man. There's no man or woman on earth that's black. So anyway, you heard what she said, right? Not going to make this long. So I put in dark-skinned Arabs. This woman right here is an Arab. The Arabs and the black skin dynamics. The prevalence of black face in Arab. I didn't read the rest of that. I'm not going to click on it. Okay, well, these are Arabs right here. Let me click on this. You see this man right here? Now you might look at that. See, they know that the Messiah that you see in every other church or every church is not white. If you really, that's been thrown in their faces, so they can't. It doesn't make any sense for him to look like the Caesar Borgia. Look at this. Okay, seen Arabia. These are Arabs. Look like it might be from the 40s, maybe. I don't know. And I believe there's two pictures merged together. I don't know the technical term, but look at this guy. That's an Arab. He got a fro. Got the beard. Look at him. He got a fro. Look at that. He walked down the street. You think he's a black man. Black man. These are Arabs. These are Arabs. These are Arabs. This sister right here, let me bring her back up. She's an Arab. Arabic literature and the African other. Because now you might say, well, those are Africans mixed among the Arabs. When you go back 2,000 plus years ago, when the Messiah walked the earth, he was amongst people of color, dark-skinned, dark brown people. Go to a biblical map. Okay, this individual right here. Okay, he's an Arab. Does it say he's an Arab? Who is black? Striking image of the world's dark-skinned people, inaccurately considered non-black. See, they consider him non-black. He'd be classified as an Arab. I have family. I have a family member, a cousin, a female that married an Ethiopian. His name was Solomon. And I told him, I said, you of course I know we're biblical Cushites. He knew about that. They keep their culture. And he was cool as hell. He looked just like a Jake. And there was a mixture, by the way. You had some lighter Arabs, caramel, however you want to say it. They were mixed. You have lighter Arabs. They were mixed. If Sudan is 85% Arab, look at this guy. He has more of a Middle Eastern look to him, but he's not a white man. So you should ask yourself, who are these people over there in the land of Israel saying that they're the chosen race? They don't look, their phenotype is not that of black men or Arab men. Matter of fact, Arabs, okay, and the truth is coming out. Jesus wasn't white. He was a brown-skinned Middle Eastern Jew. Here's why that matters. You see this? There's the whiter ties. The whiter ties the Lord. See, as kids, we used to actually think that this was Jesus. This was Caesar Borgia. Pope Alexander VI or Rodrigo Borgia. Let me see something here. I want to be fair. Okay. Why are some black Africans considered white Americans? Black Lives Matter, Al Jazeera. These are Arabs. Whether they're mixed with Ham, and the word Arab, look it up. Arab in the Hebrew or in the Arabic. Arab, if I'm saying it right, but not Hebrew, is Arab, which means mixed. It means mixed. You have some of them that are lighter, but they certainly didn't look like this guy. They certainly didn't look like this guy. Now, this image, I have a book with this image in it. Okay, this is an icon. They depicted the Lord as a man of color, a man of color, a man of color. These white images didn't come along until the late, really the 1400s, the mid to late 1400s, a thing called Renaissance. And they had a thing called Renaissance art. Renaissance art was about destroying everything black and putting up white images of the Messiah, of the Most High, of the angels, the angel dim, the Arab look just like a black man. Look like a lot of people I know. Man, occupation, falconer. And that's a bad, hey brother, I like falcons, man. I think I'm gonna have me one in the kingdom with the glove, let them fly and all that. I love animals, man. You know, my man occupation, falconer, arm, bird prey, portrait, Arabian Peninsula. This is in Arabia, United Arab Emirates. The people that live in the United Arab Emirates are dark-skinned people, Takara people, not white people. It says what? Arab, dark skin, headgear, headscarf, whatever, clothes, blah, 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 glove. Look at the man. Look at the man. This man is walking down the street. You're going to classify him as a Negro. That's a Negro right there. If he had this headpiece off and he wore Western type attire, regalia, look at this. And she looked like a Dominican, a Puerto Rican, a Brazilian, a Colombian, a Venezuela. These are the Arab streetwear brands you need to know about. She go into the hood in the Bronx somewhere, they're gonna speak Spanish to her, man. And why do people, the people of Central and South America, the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Brazilians, Venezuelans, Colombians, why do they look Middle Eastern? Because they came from the Middle East. You had Middle Eastern people 2,000 years ago, plus even today, that are as dark as this man or this woman, the Arab and the black skin. And there was a mixture back then, over 2,000 years ago. They showed you that in the movie Gladiator, man. They had so-called black people in the movie. Look at him. He don't look nothing like an Arab, but he has a headdress on. When you go to the Middle East and you go to the land of Israel, Palestine, you go to the you go southwest, you go south, you go east, you go east north. That whole region right there, the Levant, spans, I don't know, 500 miles. They were all dark-skinned people. You didn't have no white people over there. Those so-called white people that call themselves the Jews, and they established the land in 1948 by the Rothschilds. He was behind it. They put him in there and claimed that, yeah, we're the people. So we're coming to get our land back. The original people, and the woman said it, that follows vocab. She said he was Middle Eastern and he was dark skinned. Look at this guy. Look just like a Negro. Now he's an African. This man looked more like an Arab. This man, the Arabs, African people, African history, because the Arab world, you had Africa, you had Egypt, you had if you go east, north, you got Israel, you got that whole, and she didn't say Africa, she said Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern. The Arabs, they do have a certain phenotype of like they look that like they can be like Ethiopians. The Most High compared the Ethiopians to the Israelites. The small hats, they open their arms to the Falashas, and what they said was, "You are part of the nation." Well, wait a minute. So, are there some white Jews and some black Jews? They're either black or white. You can't be both. Can't be both. Look at her. Look at her. As Arab students vent outrage over racism on social media. You can see in her face a phenotype. She looked like a sister. She would be Arab. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.